All right, let's talk about AI in the classroom. But we're going to flip the script today. A lot of people see AI as this big, scary problem, right? We're going to look at it differently. We're going to see it as a huge, and I mean huge, opportunity to design way better, way smarter lessons.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. The knee-jerk reaction, is to see AI as cheating, to treat it like a behavior problem we need to police. But what if we're looking at the wrong thing? What if the problem isn't the student at all, but the actual design of the work we're giving them?
This right here, this is the light bulb moment. Seriously, we think students are being lazy, but they're just being, well, efficient. Think about it. If you give someone a task that doesn't really require them to think, and there's a tool that can do it in seconds, why wouldn't they use it? The issue isn't the tool, it's the task. The task literally left the door wide open for thinking to be outsourced.
So that leads to a really crucial question for anyone designing a lesson. You got to ask yourself, where in this entire assignment, where is the one spot a student absolutely must think for themselves? If you look at your lesson and you can't point to that exact moment, well, you've accidentally created the perfect job for an AI.
Okay, so what does one of these outsourcing-friendly tasks even look like? What makes an assignment so vulnerable to AI? Let's break it down. Let's look at the anatomy of a task that's just begging to be completed by a machine.
It really boils down to this simple split. On one side, you have tasks that can be outsourced. They're mechanical. On the other side, you have tasks that require thinking, the kind of thinking only a human can do. Our job, our entire goal, is to design lessons that live firmly on that requires thinking side of the line. And that left column, that's AI's happy place. I mean, think about it. Tasks that are procedural, predictable, heavily scaffolded, tasks that are just a hunt for one correct answer, that's literally what algorithms are designed to do. If an assignment is basically a glorified paint by numbers, of course a machine is going to be great at it.
All right, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. And it's not about trying to create some kind of AI-proof fortress around our assignments. No way. It's about a fundamental shift, a new philosophy. It's about changing the kind of cognitive work we're asking students to do.
And I want to be super clear on this point. This is not about making tasks harder in the sense of just piling on more work. Nobody wants that. It's about making them think harder. It's about making the work more cognitively demanding, more rich, more interesting.
Okay, let's get practical. Here's a perfect example. We all assign summaries, right? Well, AI is amazing at summaries. So instead of asking for the summary itself, ask for the justification. Ask them, tell me what you decided to include, but even more important, tell me what you left out and why. See, that why, that's a human judgment call. AI can't do that.
Here's another great one. Instead of asking a student to produce an answer from thin air, what if you gave them two possible answers? You could even have an AI generate one of them, and then their job isn't to create, it's to evaluate. Which of these is better? Defend your choice. All of a sudden, the cognitive work shifts from production to critical judgment.
Or how about this? Instead of just grading the final polished product, ask for an explanation of the process. The focus is no longer on the what, it's on the how and the why. Why did you choose that particular word? Why did you structure that paragraph that way? That's metacognition. That's making the thinking visible, and that's where the learning is really happening.
All of these shifts force us to rethink what active learning even means. For a long time, we thought it meant kids moving around or lots of noise and energy in the classroom. But in the age of AI, that's not it. True active learning, it's about mental work. Plain and simple, it's about the thinking you can see. So what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like students discussing ideas, challenging each other's reasoning, explaining their own thinking out loud, responding to feedback, and then, get this, revising their decisions. An AI can give you a draft, sure, but it can't get into a debate, defend its points, or change its mind because a friend made a really great argument. That's all human. And here's the really cool part. When you start designing lessons this way, something amazing happens to AI's role in the classroom. It stops being this sneaky shortcut to get out of doing work, and it transforms into a legitimate support tool, a partner in the actual process of thinking.
So just to hammer this home, the goal here is not to try and block AI. That's a losing battle, and honestly, it's the wrong goal. The real goal is to design tasks where AI simply can't finish the thinking. It can help, for sure. It can be a co-pilot, but the student has to be the one in the pilot seat, making the final calls.
So, how do we actually do this? It's pretty simple when you break it down.
Here are 4 key things to build into your lessons. 1. Build in pause points for reflection. 2. Require them to compare things. 3. Demand they justify their choices. And 4. Always allow for revision. You do those 4 things, you're on your way to a think harder classroom.
Because at the end of the day, it really is this simple. When you make thinking visible, learning becomes visible. And in that environment, AI finds its proper place. It becomes a support, not a shortcut. It helps with the process instead of just delivering the final product.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. An AI can generate a flawless answer. It can write a perfect essay on, I don't know, Hamlet. But you know what it can't do? It can't explain why it matters. It can't tell you why a particular line from the play gives you goosebumps. That's the human part. So the question we have to ask isn't if our students will use AI, they will. The real question is, how are we going to make their thinking visible?